Hey family, welcome back to the porch. Grab your tea, slide into your comfy chair, and let's get real for a minute. On August 5th, we hit the last quarter moon. Now, if you're new around here, let me give you the quick zero jargon breakdown of what a last quarter moon actually means. Think of the lunar cycle like a house party. The new moon is when you send out the invitations. The full moon is the peak of the party, music blaring, everybody dancing, energy at a 10. But the last quarter moon, that's 2 a.m. The lights are up, the music is off, and you're looking around at the sticky floors, half-empty cups, and that one guest who overstayed their welcome. In astrology, the last quarter moon is the cosmic crisis of consciousness. It's the tension point between the full moon we just survived and the upcoming new moon. It's not a time to start new projects, hire a life coach, or make grand promises. It's strictly a time to clean up, let go, prune the dead leaves, and throw out whatever isn't serving your growth. It's that moment where the cosmos asks, are you holding on to this situation because it's actually good for you or because you're just used to the discomfort? Let's go through the wheels sign by sign. As always, listen for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Aries, it's auditing your second house of financial habits, self-worth, and impulsive spending. Aries, what subscription, whether financial or emotional, are you still paying for that you don't even use? This moon is hitting your house of resources. Stop trying to buy peace of mind or validate your worth through retail therapy or overextending yourself. You need to focus on clearing out bad financial habits and standing firm in your inherent value. Taurus is auditing your first house of personal identity, expectations, and stubborn roles. Taurus, we know you love consistency, but holding on to outdated versions of yourself just because it's familiar is hurting your spirit. The last quarter moon in your first house is demanding you shed the identity you outgrew 6 months ago. You need to focus on releasing the need to please everyone and updating your personal boundaries. Gemini is auditing your 12th house of overthinking, sleep patterns, and secret anxiety. Gemini, your brain has 47 tabs open, 3 of them are frozen, and music is playing from somewhere you can't even find. It's time to close the laptop. This moon is lighting up your subconscious. Stop obsessing over scenarios that haven't even happened. You need to focus on unplugging from the mental noise, prioritizing real sleep, and releasing hidden worries. Cancer is auditing your 11th house of social circles, group dynamics, and one-sided alliances. You are the heart of your circle, Cancer, but you cannot keep feeding people who only show up when they need a free meal or emotional labor. This moon in your 11th house is telling you to edit your roster. If the friendship lacks reciprocity, let it fade gracefully. You need to focus on pruning your social network to make room for genuine supportive connections. Leo is auditing your 10th house of professional expectations, career stress, and validation needs. Leo, you don't need to burn yourself out to prove you're capable. This moon is squeezing your career sector. If a goal or project is no longer aligned with your long-term vision, stop dragging it up the hill just to save face. You need to focus on releasing career pressure and relinquishing goals that no longer fit your truth. Virgo is auditing your 9th house of rigid opinions, perfectionism, and I told you so mindsets. Virgo, my honey, you don't have to fix everything, and you don't always have to be right either. This moon in your 9th house is asking you to surrender the need to control the outcome. Let life unfold without your step-by-step supervision for once. You need to focus on dropping rigid beliefs, releasing micromanagement, and trusting the timing of your life. Libra is auditing your 8th house of shared debts, emotional baggage, and entangled energy. Libra, keeping the peace at the expense of your own peace is a losing game. The last quarter moon is excavating your 8th house of deep shared resources and secrets. It's time to cut the invisible energetic cords you've maintained out of guilt. You need to focus on settling old emotional debts and setting firm, non-negotiable energy boundaries. Scorpio is auditing your 7th house of one-on-one dynamics, unspoken resentments, and contracts. Scorpio, holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to get sick. This moon is challenging your 7th house of partnerships. Either have the honest, vulnerable conversation or let the grudge go for good. You need to focus on releasing relational friction, clearing old grudges, and choosing clarity over conflict. Sagittarius is auditing your 6th house of chaotic schedules, health habits, and overcommitment. Sag, Saying yes to everything means you're saying no to your own sanity. Your sixth house of daily routines is taking the hit this cycle. You cannot live on vibes, coffee, and late night deadlines forever. Clean up your daily schedule before your body forces you to stop. You need to focus on streamlining your daily routine, cutting out busy work, and prioritizing physical wellness. Capricorn is auditing your fifth house of creative blockages, stiff expectations, and neglected joy. Capricorn, when was the last time you did something purely because it felt good without calculating its productivity or ROI? This moon in your fifth house is demanding you let go of the pressure to make every single hobby a side hustle. You need to focus on releasing perfectionism in your creative life and making unyielding space for play. Aquarius is auditing your fourth house of family obligations, domestic clutter, and nostalgic traps. Aquarius, your home should be your sanctuary, not a museum for old family expectations or physical clutter. The last quarter moon is shaking up your fourth house. Clean out the physical closet and release the emotional obligations that aren't yours to bear. You need to focus on decluttering your living space and releasing ancestral patterns that weigh you down. And lastly, Pisces is auditing your third house of gossip, miscommunications, and mental overload. Pisces, stop letting everyone else's drama rent-free space in your head. This moon is hitting your third house of communication and local environment. Mute the group chat. Step away from the neighborhood gossip and protect your mental bandwidth. You need to focus on clearing out communication clutter and speaking your truth with precision and calm. All right, family, that is your celestial directive for this August 5th last quarter moon. Remember, letting go isn't a sign of weakness or defeat. It's simply clearing the table so you actually have room to eat when the next feast arrives. Take a look at your life this week. Find what's expired and give yourself permission to drop it. Drop a comment below and tell me, what are you officially leaving behind under this last quarter moon? Share this with a friend who needs to do a little cosmic housekeeping. Hit the subscribe, like, and follow button and keep walking in your sovereignty. Until next time, stay grounded, protect your energy, and rest up, my love. I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.